welcome back to Leonard Creek Farm. Alrighty guys, we're in the bottom pasture today, and today's video is going to be a little bit of educational instead of just a regular old maybe vlog style video or farm day video that I usually post. I want to talk to you all today about what I think are a few of the most important things you need to know before you get goats. Some of them we've learned the hard way, some of them we've learned through research, and so I just want to try to help somebody out and give them a little bit of, there is a fly on the camera, can you see it? He's right on the camera thing. Shoot fly. Some of the things some of the nuggets of wisdom, I guess I'll say, if you can call them that, of what I think are a few of important things that I wish I would have known, and important things that I feel like I would like to pass on to others for them to know, that maybe that they can learn from a few of our mistakes. Alright guys, so the number one thing right at the top of the list that I believe that everybody should know before they get goats, and that they should really do their research and look into before they get goats, something that we had to learn the hard way, is how to check Fermantra scores. If you don't know what a Fermantra score is, I'm not an expert on it, so I'm going to explain a little bit of what it is, but I encourage you to look up exactly what a Fermantra score is and how to determine a Fermantra score on a goat. But really what it boils down to is how anemic your goats are from whatever worm load that they have. It could be ringworm, different parasites such as ringworm and things like that. How anemic or how much blood they're taking from your goat. So that's what a Fermantra score boils down to. When you look at your goat, there's different stages of Fermantra score and what the inside. So if you pulled your eye down here, don't mean to gross you out, but if you pulled a goat's eye down, that probably grossed some people out that I just did that. If you pulled a goat's eye down like that, this part of your eye, which is mine right there, is the part of the goat's eye that you would look at to see the Fermantra score. The Fermantra score typically determines, like I said, how many parasites they have, and this will determine the type of wormer you use. How much wormer you use is based upon the size of the goat, but how many times you'll need to worm to help them to overcome the level of anemia they have. If they have real bad anemia, it's going to come down to more drastic measures than it would if it was just a slight anemia. What goes along with that is being able to determine the type of worms that your goat has. You can take their feces to the vet to determine that, and there is also kits that you can purchase to check for yourself through their feces the amount of parasites they have. So anyways, the number one thing that I feel like everybody should know absolutely before they get goats, the number one thing that we struggled with and didn't know and couldn't figure out why our goats weren't doing very well when we first got them was the Fermantra score. Oh, our little buck's trying to start a fight with one of our little girls. The second thing that I wish I would have known before having goats is you're going to have losses. We have buried a few, I should say, goats on this farm, and I like to say that it's easy right off the bat. It's not. It does get easier, but the first loss is really, really hard. And so you're going to have losses. Be prepared for those losses, and be sure that you know how to handle the deceased in a correct manner. Make sure that you're prepared to dig a hole, or in whichever manner it needs to be disposed of. Be sure that you're prepared to be able to handle that loss. But you're going to have those losses. It's going to happen. And sadly, it gets easier. I hate to say that, but sadly it does get easier down through time, especially when you've had to bury a few. Some of them are harder than others. Even, I mean, you do have your favorite goats, or you lose a baby or something like that, and that is very, very, very hard. But it does get easier for you to be able to handle. Oh, that baby just jumped up and fell on his face. It does get easier for you to handle in some situations. And so just be prepared for those losses. Alrighty, guys. So the third thing that I wish that I would have known when we got goats is all fencing is not created equal. If you're looking into goats, you've probably heard all the jokes about how goats are hard to keep in, and that is true. They're not lying. Sometimes people exaggerate, but in this case, they are hard to keep in, and all fencing is not created equal. So make sure before you get goats that you have got a secure fence, that you've got a good way to hold them in, and be prepared to do repairs on that fence. We've had this area, if you can see, you probably can't see, but this goes all the way up. It goes from down here all the way up there, and it's probably been up, we'll say 3 years. And we've already had to do repairs on it. We've already had to fix the hay feeders because goats are rough. And if they want something, they are bound and determined to get it, and they will tear things up. And so be prepared for repairing fences, and be prepared to get good fencing, because goats are escape artists. And I don't know, I'm sure everybody else's goats do this because I see videos in the background. But if you notice, especially in the springtime, in the wintertime, I can see some up there, goats will rub up against the fence. Oh, we got a rooster crowing. Goats will rub up against the fence and push against it to scratch. And if it's not really tight, this type of fencing is not really tight, they'll start pushing out on it. And also, they want to headbutt each other through the fence as well. And so, obviously, that puts wear and tear on it down through time. So be sure that you are prepared, like I said, to really stick with that fencing. All right, number 4 is something that I see pretty commonly on Facebook pages. And things like this. This is not something we've had to deal with because we live out in the country. But before you purchase a goat, make sure that you have a good country vet who knows how to deal with goats. I hate to say it because it sounds bad, but them old city vets, majority of them, don't know how to deal with goats. There's been so many times that I've seen on emergency goat Facebook groups that they went to their vet and the vet's told them to do this and to do that, and it's completely wrong. It's wrong. And it's because a lot of them have not had to deal with livestock since they were in school. Since they were training to be a vet, they've not had to deal with livestock. And livestock is different than little dogs and cats and stuff like that. It's not the same. And so, pretty much a goat to a city vet, a dog vet, a cat vet, stuff like that, they might as well be an exotic, because a lot of them just don't understand the care of goats. And so before you get a goat, make sure that you have a good country vet or a good vet who knows how goats work. If they don't, then you'll find yourself in trouble. Along with talking about the vet, my 5th tip and advice to you is to look up common diseases that happen to goats. Common things that can happen, such as oaf, such as nope, something was biting me. Such as coccidiosis, listeriosis, things like that. make sure that you are aware of those diseases. This is something we had to learn the hard way. This is one of those things that I'm telling you so that you know now, so you don't have to do what we did. The first goats we got, the first 3 goats we had on the farm, one of them including Miss Cammie right here was one of the first goats that we got on the farm. And because of my ignorance and my lack of understanding when it comes to diseases with goats, she contracted coccidiosis, and because of that her gut health is very poor, and she never recovered from the coccidiosis. It had done damage before we were aware or knew exactly what was happening, and had already done its damage. The other male that got it when she had it sadly passed away a few months later from the same issues that she has with a messed up gut. He ended up dying and passing away from bloat, and she has bloat issues as well. And so make sure that you don't have to learn the hard way. Make sure that you're looking at common diseases that pop up in goats, things that you can prevent through vaccinations and things like that, things that you can't prevent that you need to make sure that you've got medication for on your farm so that you can react immediately, because a lot of times if a goat's showing sickness, in a lot of cases it's usually if they're really showing those signs of sickness, it's usually too late. And so if you are prepared for those things and understand them and know how to look for them in the beginning, it'll save you a lot of heartache in the long run. So like I said, do your research and look up common conditions and diseases that goats get so that you can be better prepared for your goats to come home. All right, guys, my number 6 and my last tip, if these chickens will quit hollering over me, is to find a seat, get you a chair, get you a bucket, get you something to sit on, and come out here and enjoy your goats. Yes, they get on my nerves, probably majority of the time, but I do love them. At times I've even shouted I'm going to sell out and sell all of them, and even tried to sell all of them, but just enjoy them. Not everything's going to go your way all the time, so be prepared for it. Raising farm animals, it never does happen that way. So you can't always get what you want, as they say. There's the baby right there. He's the product of going on 6 years of hard work and heartbreak and everything else. All the things that I just told you we had to learn has come to that point, that baby right there. Like I said, we've experienced quite a few losses on this farm. And so learn from our experiences and carry on and learn more than what I know, because I'm sure there's plenty more that I'll learn down through the years, but just sit back and enjoy them once you have them home. I sit out here for hours and watch them. My husband does. Just sit back and enjoy them, love on them a little bit once you have them. But y'all, I appreciate y'all watching. If anybody else has any more tips, y'all leave them down in the comments. Anything to add, I'm sure people watching this would love the help. So y'all, thank you for watching, and if you like what you're watching and want to subscribe, please do, and please like the video. We'll see you next time. Bye.